Hey everybody, welcome to TNT Tabletop. This is technically our first episode of what this channel was originally built for. I'm Tony, your host for today. Normally, I'm hoping to get another person involved. His name is Tom, and we get together and we play basically games like board games and Shadows of Brimstone stuff. Normally, I'm playing online with a community of players like Shock Blazers, Sanguine Elegance, Lance, playing stuff like Repo and everything. So you might see that on like Saturdays. But the main thing is, as an introduction, this stream is designed for board game play. So we'll be playing stuff like Shadows of Brimstone. We'll be playing Arkham Horror and what is it? Elder Sign. I got three other board games coming in. One is what's it called? It's a PlayStation game. Bloodborne. I've got Elden Ring and another game coming in as well. And I'm primarily playing Shadows of Brimstone because I'm very passionate about this game. It's a lot of fun. It's basically take dungeon crawling Diablo and turn it into the Old West versus Lovecraftian horror and Event Horizon, Killzone, and just a whole mess of different things. And they're just constantly releasing more and more content in this game. So you're going to see this thing evolve over time. Let alone the stream itself, I'm also going to be evolving as well because I'm always adding more and more functions, more and more animations and features. I kind of want to get you all involved while me and Tom play this game. My goal is to, specifically for Shadows of Brimstone, get these cards up and running so that you all can come in and join us, and we will basically, I'll go ahead and bring it to the normal screen here. So my goal is to get player cards and their base abilities into these four screens so that you all can join us. And at any point, if you need to see your player card, you can zoom in on it. Done, right? Pretty cool. So that's my goal for this stream, really, is I've done this. I used to, like, after work, come home, sit down, play Shadows of Brimstone by myself, and I'm like, this is always one of those games I always love sharing with people, because it's different, and it shares a lot of the atmosphere that I love in horror, but also the excitement and adventure that you would get in a dungeon crawler, like finding loot, fighting monsters, finding loot, going around finding items and leveling up, going down a skill tree and everything. I got a whole player book that I've uploaded to the Discord for TNT Tabletop. So if you ever, I don't know if I've added it yet to the stream, but if you join us on the Discord, we have a whole section dedicated to Shadows of Brimstone, as well as like a character sheet section. So if you're like a member of the Discord and a follower of us, we are more than happy for you to come in, sign up to join us in a session, and then we'll just bring you on in. Get yourself a microphone, maybe a camera if you want to have us put you inside one of these frames, and we'll get rolling. But sorry, I'm a little parched. I've got a whole mess of things set up on this. For example, if you do join, and I'm going to be trying to get everybody else to use this, even though I love physically rolling dice, which I think I'm going to use this camera for, this guy right here, one day. But right now I'm using it for kind of like when I want to show you all cards and stuff, I can just kind of throw it in there. And then you all can like, I'll just place it. Can kind of read it, I guess? Yeah, works pretty well. So right now the card is kind of being used as a player, as a card area. So and I also have a dice app that I'm using on the side called DD Dice, and it's got an overlay that I can put into OBS. So and you create custom dice with it. So I can like you or anybody else, if you all join, you can actually go ahead and use that app, and it should display it on the stream. I guess I turned that off. There's usually there's a dice log. So it'll show a dice log at the bottom of the screen, and it'll also show your dice roll physically on the screen. It's a pretty cool feature. I definitely want to add to this. Originally, I was going to make it so that I would input your names from the chat room, and in the chat room you type in like roll /roll D8 or D6 or something, and it'll do it in the actual OBS and then pass that along to basically whatever it does, like writing dice roll and all that. But I just figured this just adds more visual beauty to rolling dice. Who doesn't love seeing dice being rolled across a tabletop? So I'm like, here we go. You got that on the screen. Also, you're hearing sound effects right now, and I'm going to give a big shout out to them. I've been using their service for a little bit over a year. I used it back when I was playing Dungeons and Dragons with, I don't know if you're familiar with them, but I played D&D with the D&D Bros for 2 sessions, and I was pretty much used my setup and everything, and I used this service for the sound effects and the music, and it's called Syrinscape, and they have like a whole mess of different types of ambient sounds. They even have music. You can turn certain pieces on and off. You can have them come up more often than normal or lesser than normal. It's an amazing app to really create an excellent atmosphere for board game sessions or your D&D sessions. You know, I'm not trying to sell out or anything. I'm just saying, like, I'm always one for production value, always have been, and Syrinscape so far has been one of the best apps, and it's because not just because of the ambient sounds and the music, but it's also because you also have the ability to use sound effects from in the app. So if you're doing a swinging attack or something, you can actually the DM can actually use a soundboard that adds to it. So it's like an all-in-one piece. So big props to Syrinscape. I use them for my streams. So is that camera moving again? Well, anyway, so don't be surprised if you see me preaching about them. Primarily because it's just they're doing me a favor by creating awesome sound and making it more engaging. And doing them a favor by telling you all about how great their app is. So anyway, as I was saying, this stream is dedicated primarily to board games. I'm hoping to get the community involved. If the community that I'm normally joined in with wants to join in, more than happy to do that. If I get people joining up and jumping on Discord and following the stream, my only minimum requirement for you all to join me and join me and Tom or myself playing a game would be to follow. It'd be great if you could follow. If you follow us, it'll get us closer to affiliate, which I'm dying to get to because there's a lot of features I really want to add to the stream, but I can't until I'm affiliate. And that's stuff that, as a viewer, you can interact with the difficulty of the game that we're playing. And I'm going to leave that all a secret for now, but I have huge plans for how you all can kind of mess with us, interact with us, help us using the reward system. Just our big reward for you, just for following and watching us, is letting you interact with us, like on the stream. So anyway, today I'm going to kickstart this stream playing of course, my favorite game, Shadows of Brimstone. And I will go ahead and remove the background here. That is not the right camera. There we go. So Shadows of Brimstone, as I said earlier, is a game that's it's a cross between the Old West, feudal Japan mythology, and basically the Norse gods, Spanish exploration, and basically a whole bunch of horror aesthetics, like I said, Lovecraft. If you've watched the movie Event Horizon, there's a derelict ship world. There's all these different worlds in the game. Derelict ship's one of them. There's a Mad Max theme kind of thing. What's it called? The Blasted Waste is basically a Mad Max theme. There's hell. There's a whole bunch of different areas that they've added to the game, and we got another Kickstarter coming in from Flying Frog. That's going to add even more content to this game when this game's already overflowing with content. I show you a picture of all the boxes and bins that I have, of all the monster models, all the cards, tiles for the game. There's I think there's 27 classes right now to play as. I could be wrong, it might be more than that. But there's an awful lot of content in this game, and it's just constantly growing. For example, every time there's a new con that comes in, like Gen Con or Roll to Win, all these different things, like 3 of them a year, I think. And whenever there's a new con that comes in, they release more content. I've already got another box of another shipment coming in from the last Gen Con that's got a whole mess of models and new monsters and stuff. And that's going to make this stream a challenge, because I've scanned a whole mess of the cards, basically the monster cards, threat cards, darkness cards, everything I could to streamline the game, because there is an awful lot of content. And until I get back into being used to the rules of the game, I'm going to be taking short breaks to look up rules. Like it took me a while to find the Snapfire rules. It takes me a while to find these. There's like a whole bunch of rules for this game. Every time they release a new thing. But so the goal that I'm going to have for this is try to get as much repeated content on the stream that can do all the work for me with a simple press of a button on something like the Stream Deck. And I've kind of already got that. As I said, I've got the monster cards pretty much all in there. I still have to type in their name, but I got all the monsters. Not all the monster cards. I got more content I need to add, but I got a whole bunch of monster cards in there. I got all the threat cards. I've got darkness cards. I even got like a whole bunch of other cards. I don't remember which ones, but either way, I'm trying to streamline all that to make it easier for all of us. And on top of that, it's all built. It's on auto. I raised my hand. Either way, works kind of well. So that's actually kind of cool. So the thing is, I want to streamline as much content as I can to go to the screen. Stuff that's just going to be on the screen now. Stuff that's not really too important. So that's going to be, like I said, the threat cards, scavenging, loot cards, stuff like that. Gear cards I kind of want to add, but I'll do it when we're affiliate and I'm more prepared with custom characters. Because for right now, my goal for everybody, including myself, because character creation can take a long flipping time. And actually, I forgot to get myself a couple things, but character creation, you take this card right here. There we go. And you pretty much jot it all down. But I have player cards that you can actually jot all this information down on. And that's something that's going to have to be pre-stream. We're going to have to build all those. And again, I want to be more prepared for the custom characters. But for now, what I want to do is I want to scan these and scan their starting items and put it all inside one image, so that this way, when you playing with us and I'm using my stuff, it'll be simple to just kind of switch them out and display them full screen, like so. Boom. Okay, you see your player card, and now you can make your skill checks and your range attack, your melee attack. Quick reference cards is what I want to build this stream. That's to come. Still working on it, but the custom characters is going to take me a while to put together. That's quite a feat. But anyway, I'm going to turn these guys off, so I don't need them. And so I guess we'll start the game. So I'm going to be playing the base, basically the base rules for the game, and it's called Fistful of Brimstone. Like Fistful of Dollars, but Fistful of Brimstone. And what it is we're going into a mine as, you know, I'm playing as an outlaw and a prospector. So I got melee and range. There are other support classes. Like I said, there's 27 classes. There are a whole bunch of different things to choose from. But the whole point of Fistful of Brimstone, it's really just a base game. It's very easy to learn. It's just there's not so many rules as a lot of the other ones. Another thing too is I'm playing on a table where every time I draw a map tile, I'm going to have to start taking map tiles away because it's just not big enough to keep all the tiles. It's too bad because I love playing the entire map out because you get a sense of scale as you're going through this dungeon. It's pretty exciting. It's a lot of fun. So, Fistful of Brimstone, it's a group of heroes or outlaws going into a mine, and they're you know what? I'll just pull up. Okay. I just can't rely on that, I guess. Anyway, let me go ahead and just pull up the rules for it. I'll just kind of read it out to you what the point of the mission is and what we're doing. If I can find it. There we go. Okay, it's called For If You Don't Throw More, but anyway, I'll go ahead and read it off to you. Sitting in the saloon one afternoon, you overhear talk of a local mine up in the hills that has a large deposit. So you might get me. A large deposit of dark stone. Just waiting for someone to come and claim it. It sounds too good to be true, and it probably is, but the old prospector swears up and down that he would go claim it himself if he were 20 years younger. It's not hard to figure out which mine system he's talking about based on the landmarks he's mentioned, and though the other patrons he tells just dismiss him, this could be a big score you've been looking for. So the setup of it is, as you're seeing here, we set up the entrance tile, and we set ourselves up, and in Shadows of Brimstone, you have basically these two and these four tiles to set your characters on. So you can have two in the lead, and then four in the back. If you have ally characters, these two open up, and you can actually put them here. So you can play up to 6 players on this game with two additional ally characters. 6 players, the game becomes pretty difficult. So like right now I'm playing 2-player, which is kind of in one ranking, and then three to four players another ranking, and then 5 to 6, 5 plus is basically a whole other ranking. Basically, each rank brings out different difficulty threat cards. And threat cards are basically what kind of monsters come out to take us on. And since I'm only playing 2, I'm playing the low threat cards. I will definitely have my guys a little bit close and up front, because I want to march across this room. Mission goal: the heroes are searching for a deposit of valuable darkstone up on the hills. To reach the darkstone deposit that they are looking for, the heroes must find enough blue icons on exploration tokens to lead them to the objective. There are 3 variations for the mission, and the heroes must choose before the mission begins which mission length they want to embark on. So it's either a small deposit, medium deposit, or large deposit. For each one, it goes up one clue higher. So small deposit 2 clues, medium deposit is 3 clues, and then the large deposit is 4 clues. So in this case, I kind of want to make this a little bit quick so I can move on and show you other parts of the game. Chances are I'm probably not going to make it to 2 clues, because recently I've been playing this game, and within the first 2 rooms, me and my posse get destroyed. So anyway, I'm going to play the small deposit, which is only 2 clues. So special rules, there's no special rules in this game. Objectives. When the final clue is discovered, the heroes found the darkstone deposit they were looking for. Ignore any attacks or encounters listed on the final exploration token, and you'll get those. Also, ignore any door gate icons on the token, as the objective room no longer has no exits. Reveal all growing dread cards. Things are worse, by the way. Reveal all the growing dread cards in the stack as normal, then the heroes must face an epic threat. Once all enemies have been defeated, the heroes have successfully completed the mission. Now, the general rule for playing with multiple characters is, again, it's a difficulty thing. So we're playing against low threat, and the final boss is going to be a high threat, not an epic threat. Epic threat could be an ancient one. Yeah, an ancient one come out and just one shot us both. These guys. But anyway, let me go get the exploration tokens, and we'll jump right into the game. So the exploration tokens are things I definitely want to add to the stream. The reason why is because these are, again, on like one on and off things. They don't need to stick around, really. Other than displaying how many clues we've obtained, which I can also add that to the stream. So it would just make life easier if I added these to it. And I've actually done the animation for it. I just got to figure out how to set up a JSON file to be read by the OBS stream and let it do its job. But if you want to see it, I do have an animation for it. I'm just not 100% certain to use it. I'm thinking about actually just using like a compass, and that's what I forgot to tell you all about, and a lantern, kind of just popping in the screen and revealing the token. But in this game, you have to declare, at the beginning of the adventure, you have to declare who's holding the lantern. So as we're going into this dungeon, or this mine, or going on this adventure, the whole area is just dark. It's the darkness. Somebody has to carry a lantern, otherwise you are consumed by the darkness that is inside this dungeon. And everybody on the same tile as the person holding the lantern and an adjacent tile are safe from the corruption that the darkness brings in. And where was I going with this? So anyways, they my mind just went blank for a second there. So you got somebody holding on to the lantern, and everybody on the same tile, energy tile, basically safe from the darkness. Otherwise, there's a whole bunch of special rules that get followed where people outside of it start taking, well, sanity damage. Ooh, he's got a lot. But anyway, start taking sanity damage. That's a bad thing. And that's the beauty about this game too, is that if anybody has ever played the Call of Cthulhu games, or let's say the Warhammer Warhammer 40K games like Dark Heresy, where you reach a certain amount of corruption or whatever, you start getting problems. You start having problems. Well, in this game, it does the same thing. You get too much corruption, you can actually grow a limb, a quado. You could have a whole bunch of things that either might be a good thing or a bad thing. But if you do, there's a general rule where if you roll on the mutations deck and you get the same, you get something that you already have, like say you got another quado, you're dead. You can't have two of the same thing. That's an instant death. Which your character isn't always permanently dead. You can bring them back. There's just it's a little difficult to do, and it's expensive. Another thing too is it goes the same thing for health and sanity. When you take too much damage in health, and you're taken down, at the end of the adventure, you have to roll on a injuries table, and you can have a broken arm, broken finger, your shots are -1 or something. Same thing with sanity. You could have gone insane in some way. There's always something bad for just how bad things are going for you in this game. Which again brings a level of excitement. There's a lot to talk about. Because there's more to this than just the adventure part of the game. There's also, on top of the adventure, there's a travel part, which is relatively short. It's at the end of the adventure, you succeed or fail, you have to take the travel back, and it could completely affect your next adventure or the town you're going to. Which that's another part that's exciting about the game, is going back to town. There's a whole mess of things that happen in town. Shootouts, you could join in a heist, or just a whole mess of things you can do in it. Or you can just go there, spend a few days in town, bartering, buying, upgrading. Like I said, it's picture a dungeon crawler like Diablo, where you go out, adventure, find loot, come back, sell it, upgrade, do a whole bunch of stuff. It's a blast. And I'm hoping that you all will someday come in and join us, and we can start playing full 6-player games with custom characters, so that anytime you come back, we're back in the game, and you're joining us, and get chaotic. And it will get chaotic. I mean, it's already chaotic on level 1. But anyway, so I'm, as I said earlier, I'm playing as an outlaw. And his stats are okay. He's got some pretty cool weapons that comes with him. And I'm playing as my second character. So I'm not just going to play as one character. That's just crazy. I've done it, and it's not fun. And I'm playing as a prospector. There's some pretty cool rules for the prospector. I'm really just using him as a tank. I want him to get his ass kicked, so that my outlaw can do all the shooty. Although he doesn't do too bad in combat. His gear's expensive too. Really expensive. It's got a lot of rules. I didn't bother reading the sheets yet. But anyway, so let's begin. So very first round is, of course, initiative. Put this away here. And so if you look on the screen, in the center of the screen, here, you will see what's called depth track. As we're going further into the dungeon, you'll see it dropping. So for every tile we discover, that is going down. It's getting more and more difficult the further we go down. See how there's these little dividers between these? Whenever we cross that, the difficulty of the game is getting worse. And there's even more rules I can play with later. But anyway, that's basically our posse going into the adventure and how far we go. Once we get to 0, I don't remember the rules for that, but I've never once made it past 5 or 4, somewhere around there. Like we always found the clues. And either way, you know what? I think I know why you could go past it. So hallways and stuff don't really count toward the exploration tokens. You have to find full-blown rooms for the exploration tokens to come out. But anyway, so as we're going down the dungeon, that posse marker is going down along with us. For every single full-blown, every single room we discover, including hallways. I'll set that. And then at the end of every turn, we make a roll to see how much the darkness inside this mine or from the portal that's coming out of it, how hard it's trying to bust out of this mine and just corrupt the countryside. And that's this guy right here starts going down. I'm not going to go any further than that. There's little things I want to be a mystery. But because I've kind of set all this up to be with game, and it's pretty cool. But that will go the opposite direction. Now, there's special rules at the back of the book. Is it still working? There we go. Yeah. So there's special rules in the back of the book for if the darkness track surpasses the posse marker. And again, it's if we want to make the game more difficult, which I think is something I'm going to add later for a rewards thing. So you all can change the difficulty of the game based on stuff like that. I'm going to add a lot more, but that's something I think that would be fun to add to the game. Then in the center is this guy right here. I guess for this round I'll bring it up. Initiative 4. So that's the initiative tracker, and the whole point of that is that, of course, we go down the initiative values. I'm going to be adding little features to actually. I kind of want to create a player, not player card, but like player names, tokens, so that as we're going down initiative order, it highlights them so it shows who's next. But in Shadows of Brimstone, when it comes to initiative order, if a monster group and a player share the same initiative order, the monster group is always first. Always. They always go first. I know, it sucks, because difficulty of this game is already hard enough as it is. And the fact that monsters are able to do these things, great. But anyway, so I'm going to be adding that later. I mean, it's already in there, and it does a lot, but I want to highlight people's names and stuff. And it's something I'm still trying to figure out because the layout's kind of all... I love the layout as it is. But anyway, so that's the depth track, and it does an awful lot to this game, and it streamlined a lot for me. Made it easier for me to, for all of us actually, to figure out what's going on, and there's some things I do want to add to it later. But anyway, so start the turn. We choose initiative, and the very first character we get to go is going to be the. Let me move this over here. It's going to be this bad boy, the Outlaw. The reason why it's initiative is initiative 4. So let's see if I can bring that up for you. Yeah. So his initiative is 4. So he's basically going to be the first person to go because the Prospector is a 2. So I'm going to go ahead and roll. Very first thing you do on your turn is roll for movement. I avoid that rule. There's another rule in the back of the book for the game that instead of rolling for your movement, you just get 4 movement points. You did it again. I gotta stop doing that. But anyway, so you get 4 movement points. But still, you roll to see if you gain your grit back. That's a general rule in games. At the beginning of your turn, you roll 1d6, and on a 6, you gain a grit, which actually, at the start of not every adventure, but the creation of your character, you get a grit. I'm going to organize this stuff later. So both characters should have a grit point. But now it's the beginning of the Outlaw's turn. So I'm going to go ahead and roll my d6 to see if he gains a grit. You get a maximum of 2 grit. Unless you have special rules or gear or something that grants you more grit, which I don't think he does. I don't think either one of them gets an additional grit. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and roll. Oops. I rolled a 3, so not going to gain anything from that. But I'm going to go ahead and move him up. That's the prospector. So I'm going to go ahead. And I'm going to move him up his 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what I could do is I could spend his grit. Because you can use grit in many ways. You can re-roll any number of dice on a roll. Re-roll any number of dice on a roll that you did. You can spend it to add additional movement. Like, it could be like, hey, I want to get rid of this. And I'm going to add d6 movement to my movement. I don't know why I double-clicked. Hold on a second. There we go. So I can get 4 additional movement. I can do that, which I'm not going to do. There's also abilities that require you to spend your grit to get things. There's just a lot you can do with grit. Some character class specific too. So that's my movement. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, for his action, I'm going to do a scavenge. And what a scavenge is you roll 2d6 on every 6. You scavenge something out of that room. And once a room's been scavenged, it's done. So I'm going to go ahead and scavenge. Two and a 4. So yeah, I walked in, didn't find anything. Obviously, his mind's somewhere else right now, going down that room. So that was his turn. Next. The one who's going to be holding the lantern is probably going to be, as I was going, I'll go back to that. The lantern's important. Whoever's holding the lantern makes a darkness roll at the end of every turn. And we'll get to that here in a second. I'm going to declare that the Outlaw is holding the lantern. Actually, no, I'm going to say it's the Prospector. The Prospector is holding the lantern. Because this guy's holding 2 weapons. It's just RPG element, I'm just going to say. Because he's holding 2 pistols, I'm going to have the Prospector holding the lantern. He's kind of trucking behind. Anyway, the Prospector, it's his turn, so I'm going to go ahead and roll for his grit. Stop rolling 2 6s. Okay. Got nothing. So I'm going to roll for his scavenge after I move him up 4. And he has a special rule. He's got some really good rules for scavenging. So his general rule for scavenging is I chose, for every character class, you have subclasses that you choose from too. For example, the Outlaw, I chose the Hitman. There's 2 other classes on top of Hitman I could have chose, but I forgot he has +1 move, so I'm going to just put him on where he should be. He has the ability to kind of move through targets, and he gets to move one more movement point. The Prospector, I'm going to go ahead, I gave him the Eagle Eye, which allows him to, if I can zoom in on this card here. Oh. My bad. So, you may scavenge a map tile even if it's already been scavenged, has a scavenge marker on it. Limit 1 extra scavenge per map tile. Roll 1 extra die when scavenging. So that means instead of just 2d6, I roll 3d6 to see if he scavenges anything. Which is pretty sweet, if you ask me. But that also kind of makes him a little bit weaker in combat. Some of the other subclasses that he had were better with combat. Whoops. So I'm going to roll 3d6. 3d6 for his scavenging. Still nothing. Are you kidding me? Okay, so that's that. That was the end of the turn. Oh, you can't use guns. That's not great. But he's good at close combat. So that's the end of the turn. And what I should have been doing from the start was I should have been dropping the initiative. There we go. So he was 2, we're down 0, and then we go out. Now we have to make a hold back the darkness test at 7+. So the person who's holding the lantern has to make this test. So here goes the prospector. Let's see if we pass. We have to make a 7+. We did. We made it. So the darkness marker doesn't advance at all. If it was under it, it would advance, which would be bad times for me. Or them, in this case. So now it's the next turn. It is once again, the Outlaw. And I'm going to have the Outlaw move up 1 and do, and basically, it's called, the action is looking into that room. And it will basically open up whatever the next tile is. So I think I did shuffle these. And these are cards I'm planning on adding also to the stream. It's just, there's a lot of them. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and draw a card. And what I found... I gotta stop doing this. There we go. So as the Outlaw peeked into that room, he found a rail split. So I'll be right back with tiles. So that's a full room. Meaning that we actually advance down the track. That is for the expansion. Okay. Let me take a look. It. So if you see, the card actually tells you where it connects, and then these numbers that so it shows you where it connects, and then these numbers are basically where we're going to roll when we do a full exploration of that room. When we do a full exploration of that room, you'll see when we flip it over, it'll tell us what happens in that room, whether it's a couple of encounters, possibly a monster attack, an ambush, those suck, or and it will tell us whether or not there's pathways or a portal to another world. Which I'm hoping we get one of those, because I want to show you how cool it is to be constantly moving from world to world. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and place this tile. Right here. And I'll just kind of scoot it on down here. And his action is going to be, well, I already looked through. The exploration happens at basically just before the end of the turn. So what I'm going to do, that was his action was peek through. Now it's time for the Prospector. The Prospector. I wonder if I can move this differently. Well, anyway, the Prospector is just going to go ahead and move up 3, because I'm a little bit worried about what's possibly in this room. Oh yeah, we need to put one of these bad boys up here. And he's going to... Well, should I have him there? Should I have him in the other room? I'm actually just going to have him here. So the connecting part of the tile is considered to be both rooms. And this is important for a lot of reasons. One, the reason why I was like, well, maybe it's a good idea to stay here is because I can still scavenge this room if I'm on that tile. If I went up ahead, I can only scavenge this room. So the connecting part of the tile is considered to be both tiles. Another thing is, with the lantern, as I said earlier, it keeps people safe from darkness if they're on the same tile or adjacent tile. That could be important later on if somebody decides to book it to the other tile edge, and now somebody's here and they're kind of screwed. So it's like it's nice to be on those tiles for that reason. Doesn't work the same for portals though. When you're on a portal tile that is half and half with the world and the previous world, you're really just looking through it. You can't actually shoot through it. I think they changed that in the rules for the when they came out with a list of rules changes. But either way, so I'm going to go there and I'm going to have the Prospector scavenge this room. I do kind of like it. That, so I can use that area. So I'm going to go ahead and scavenge, and since he's a prospector and he's got eagle eyes, he's going to go ahead and roll 3d6. Got one. All right. So how scavenge works is, I'm not really going to take this all seriously right now until I start playing campaign characters, because when you play campaign characters, you want to write down the XP, you want to write down the money you're getting. But I'm feeling like this is going to be a one-off play right now. Because I didn't write their characters, so I'm just kind of going to ignore what I get, but I'm going to show you what happens. So when you succeed, for every D6 you succeed with, you get a scavenge. So what we do is we come here and nothing here. So there's nothing in the room. But I gain 10 XP. Normally I would jot that down, but like I said earlier, I'm going to avoid doing that. So that's all that really was in this room was some XP. And I do have icons up right here. There, scavenged. So this way that room can't be scavenged anymore. So I moved them up. Scavenged room was action. Now we're on to the exploration phase of the game, which means we are revealing what this sucker is right here. So we're going to reveal it? Oh, boy. Okay, so what it is, I'll bring it over here. What it is these two icons represent doors and portals. That's how many doors are in the room, or that's how many portals are in the room. If there's nothing there, well, there always should be a door or a portal. There really should be. Unless they change that. I don't remember seeing anything that said otherwise. Anyway, so that's that. And then in the middle is basically the action that takes place in that room. Whether it's an attack, an ambush. Here, in this case, it's darkness. Sometimes encounters happen in this room. Encounters are like storytelling in this game. It's a bunch of random events that happen. It adds a little extra flavor to it. Kind of like the DM. And this little icon here represents the clues that we found in the room. So we found one out of the 2 clues already in this room. So put that there to represent. Cracking thing is, darkness happening in this room, but what we'll do for now is we'll decide which of those is the doors. So I'll be right back and get the door right onto this. Still on me. So you get an idea. This is all shadows of Brimstone right here. Each and every piece of it. It's portal. Just the same as I needed it. Yeah, so kind of scary that it does that. But anyway, as you saw, there's an awful lot to this game. So let's just put these over here because I'm probably going to need them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place these here just to show you that these are basically the doorways. I need to paint them, finish painting them. Although One of these streams, you're probably going to see me not play Shadows of Brimstone or play a board game. Some of these streams, I'm probably just going to sit down, get some paints out, shoot, just talk, hang out, paint at the same time. I kind of miss having painting sessions, and I'm like, I'm going to paint. Why not just hang out, paint, and talk? Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to roll to see which crossway, which door, which ones are going to be doorways. So, first thing, we'll roll for one. 6. So this is a doorway. And the next one, 3. So that is a doorway. So we're either going those two directions, and I'll grab a... So, I'll grab an end tile for that. And there we go. That was the reveal of that tile. Again, I'm probably going to be going to my right. I'm scared of that dark discard, though. I am honestly but puckered right now because of it. Okay. Because that doesn't look like it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Never is. But anyway. So let me go ahead and draw. Yeah, that's a good idea. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this up. Should have done this at the beginning of the game. My bad. So these are basically the portal cards, or the world cards, and this is where we are right now with the mines. The beautiful thing about the mines is there's no effects at all. It's just a mine. So I'm going to go ahead and hide that. And now I remember why I did that. I'm going to move that down here one of these days. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a dark discard. Oh God. Okay. So Darkstone Rage during the next fight or the current one. All enemies are +2 damage on their attacks. When a hero kills one of these enemies, that hero may also collect one Darkstone, or D3 if the enemy is a large size or bigger. And that's awesome. And sucks. +2 damage. That hurts a lot. Prospector, on the other hand, is like laugh at that. He's got 16 health. It's a lot of damn health. He's a tank. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that to the side. I got to remind myself that on the next combat, that card is coming out. They're going to have +2 combat. But anyway, so here we are. It's time to move on. Where were we? Went in, did the exploration, we found the clue, got doors done. It's now time. Everybody's favorite time. It is time to, come on, you can do it. Hold back the darkness at 7+. Oh, we mentioned. Another thing too I forgot to do is that we do, since we did open up this room, we went one further down to the dungeon. So let us roll and see if we are screwed or not. Well, it wouldn't be so much, but we'll see what happens. Another 9. We're safe. Rolling pretty good. So that's the end of the whole darkness. That's the end of that turn. We're going back to the beginning of the round. Now it's time to decide where are we going to go. Do we want to go straight? Or do we want to go right? Thinking, let's go right. Or straight. Hold on. How many spaces? It's going to take us 2 turns to get either door. So I'm going to go straight. Why not? So first things first is the Outlaw. We're going to see if the Outlaw gets his grit back. If he gets a grit. Nope. And now I'm going to go ahead and move them. 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to have them. I'm going to have him scavenge the room. Why not? Right? He found nothing. Again, he's just he is zoned in on marching across that room. So then, after his turn, we're going to go to the Prospector. We're going to roll for his grit. You got one. One of these days, I'm going to make custom dice for this dice roller using the icons from the game. So he's at max grit now, which is awesome. If I wanted to, I can actually spend that grit to have him march across that room. I'm half tempted to do it. So I kind of want to catch this moving. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's so hard to come by grit, though. That's another thing I forgot to mention, too. At the start of... I don't remember if it's every adventure or if it's just... No, it's not every adventure. When you create a character, you get a free pocket item. My thing is, as much as it's nice to have whiskey or whatever, I'm always... I don't really like playing as a power gamer, but when it comes to this game, the odds are against you, so I'm like dynamite all around. So both characters, anytime I play this game, my character's always got dynamite. So both guys have a stick of dynamite. That was my chosen bag item. So I might have him rush to the next room. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and have him spend that grit to roll and see how much further he can move. 5 spaces. Nice. So I'll just have him march right up the door. And we will once again see what we're stuck with. As luck would have it, we found another rail split. And that is still on the same expansion. So there we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to discontinue this tile, starting tile. I don't really have enough space to keep all the tiles in the game. Oh, back. That's just there now. And its entrance is still the same. And it's right there. It's kind of funny. And once again, we'll take this exploration token. I can't believe I already found one. One of the clues already. But anyway, so we looked through this door, and now we're gonna wait for the end of the turn for the exploration, which is his end of the turn. Everybody's done. I should be keeping track of that. And now it's the exploration turn, and I'm gonna go ahead and flip that wonderful token that we all love. Damn. Depth of event. That is new to me. Depth of event counter. I think these are new tokens. I'm going to ignore that for now and just say that it's... We'll just say it's an encounter. I gotta look up and see what that is. Although it kind of works. I don't know, for the sake of keeping things rolling for now. Do I have to roll a die and see what happens? Is it a depth event? If so, that's... I bet it is. I gotta find the rules for these new tokens. So I think they made it easier to find clues, but they made it more difficult. I bet that's what it is. So I guess I'm gonna roll a d6, see what happens on the depth event. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and just play it as an encounter. Just to give you an idea of what encounters are like. Although a depth encounter would be fun too. Depth encounters, so let me give you an idea, explain to you why I hate depth encounters, why they're horrifying. Whenever you hold back the darkness, we roll those 2 dice, and we have to make a number of or over, like 7 plus, 8 plus, or 9 plus. And roll doubles. I rolled like a bunch of nines. Anyway, so if you ever roll doubles on that roll, and you can't re-roll darkness dice unless you have a special ability that lets you do it or cancel it. If you ever roll doubles on darkness, it triggers a depth event. Rolls 1 through 5 are horrible. 6 is amazing. 6 you basically get healed up and help. It helps you. 2 through 5, not so great. Of course, when you're going 5 and lower, the lower the number goes, the worse it gets. And 1 straight up, you get bombarded by an ambush, and ambushes ain't fun. Actually, it's hilarious, but it's not fun. It sometimes isn't fun. But anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm going to treat it as an encounter for now. And I'm going to look up what that rule is, because this is a new token set for encounter and exploration. But I'm going to use it as, I'm going to do 2 encounters as punishment for not doing a depth event. And it could be good, could be bad. Most of the time, not usually great. But we'll see what happens. So I'll bring that up so that y'all can see it. Get out of here. All right. So I can barely read it on that screen. I'll just go ahead and I'll remain play too. So steam clouds. The room is filled with thick, hot steam pouring out of rusty, broken pipes running along walls and floor. It's hard to see 3 feet in front of you, let alone who or what might be in the room with you. Any model on this map tile, or targeting a model on this map tile, range attacks only hit on rolls of 6+. And these range attacks may not get critical hits. Also, roll a d6. Oh, God. Okay, so I'm going to roll. So, roll a d6. On a roll 1 or 2, something is in this room with you. Attack, draw a threat card. And it remains in play. These are cards I also kind of want to add to the stream because, again, they kind of just pop on and off, or sometimes they remain in play, and I have enough cards in the stream to accommodate that. So, we'll roll 1d6. Oh, thank God. Okay, so we avoided that, but this card still fully remains in play. We'll just kind of leave it off the sides. This way we remember if anything was to happen here, bad things. So we're going to go ahead and draw another encounter card. Hallucinations. It's another remain in play card. And I'll get to these icons, the rules and what they represent. It'd be nice to have a creature right now. Moose. Hallucinations. It is... I can't read that. It's the Black Fang card? Well, anyway. Hallucinations. The air in this room feels thick and smoky. As you breathe in deeply, you begin to feel lightheaded. The shadows in the corner of your eye begins to take shape, forming into black, hunched creatures that scurry in the darkness, always just outside of your view. All heroes on this map tile, which is just the Prospector, start each... Oh. Okay, so all heroes on this map tile that start... at the start of each turn are -1 initiative. -1 on their to-hit rolls, and take 2 horror hits. This is a terrible place. Between these two things happening? It's steam and cloudy, and it's some type of noxious gas or something that's really screwing with these people's heads. So they're getting hallucinations while taking in this, basically whatever these steam clouds are setting off. One character... Oh, actually, it's the whole team, I think? think that means team. Yeah. So everybody needs to make a Spirit 5 plus test. If successful, gain 15 XP, and you may heal 1 sanity damage for each 5 plus roll. For each die that did not roll a 5 plus during this test, take 2 horror hits. This was terrible. Okay, so that's that fun little card there. So I guess we're going to roll. What was it again? Spirit 5 plus. For real? So how that works. This icon here with all the people on it represents the entire team needs to make that roll. Trying to remember if it's just everybody on that map tile or if it's just the one person. I'm pretty sure it's just the one person on that map tile. I mean everybody on that map tile. The Outlaw's not on there, just the Prospector. It would make sense because it's happening in that room. Yeah, so basically what it is, everybody in that room is taking this, and it's just the Prospector. So how this card works is everybody in that map tile has to make that. And Spirit 5 plus is basically saying you roll. So what it is that you have these different abilities, right? You have your agility, your cunning, spirit, strength, lore, and luck. Those represents how many dice you roll for the test. So here we are with the Spirit 5 plus. He's got a Spirit 2, meaning he has to roll 2 dice. And the same thing goes for the Outlaw. Well, the same thing would go for the Outlaw. He would be rolling 1 die. He only has 1 Spirit. The Prospector, on the other hand, has 2 for Spirit, so he has to roll 2 dice. It just gives you more chances of success. So he's going to roll 2 d6s. Passed 1, but he took 2 horror hits on the other one. So normally he would get 15 experience for the pass on 1, and he would get to heal 1 sanity damage. But he did fail 1, so he's getting 2 horror hits. Now horror hits, this is how horror hits work. So horror hits work like this. This is your sanity. This is how many sanity points you have. Just like they're both the same when it comes to health and sanity. This is how many sanity points you have. This is the roll you need to make to pass a sanity check. Horror hits are sanity checks. There's different types of horror. There's terror, horror, and I forgot what the other one is. There's 3 different ones. But they really affect the area of which people have to take horror checks. But anyway, that's later on when we start fighting monsters. For this here, we're just taking horror hits. So we automatically took the hits. We just now have to see if the guy is spirited enough to ignore it or brush off horror. So he has to take 2 horror hits, which we're going to go ahead and use his 5 plus. So he needs to take 2d6 and pray that the 5 pluses. Again, he took 1. So he took 1 damage, mental damage, or sanity damage. Just like that. So he's down to 13 sanity at this point. And you can never, of course, exceed your sanity unless you get, again, gear. Possibly when you level up and you roll on your, when you're playing a campaign character and you level up, of course you also get like bonus to sanity or whatnot. But anyway, so he took a sanity damage. He did all right. All things considered, he had smoke spat in his face and started hallucinating. Things ain't going so great for the old Prospector. So that's the end of his turn. That's the end of the encounter, the exploration phase. Now we're back to... Let me fix this here. We'll this guy away. We're back to hold back the darkness. So once again, the prospector, after just losing his shit for a little bit, excuse my language, he's going to go ahead and test to see if darkness is coming out. He's doing great on these darkness rolls, so we're safe for now. But we also did, once again, drop down the depth chart. So we're now down to 14. Or 14th number, whatever it is. But anyway, we're going down the track. So beginning of the next turn, we have no combat, no nothing. I did forget to check to see which doors opened. Again, the token shows there's just one door, so we're going to roll to see which one of those doors opens up. I should have done this a little while ago before we rolled hold back darkness, but that's okay. 4. So again, it's just continuing straight. So move some of these things around here. There. This belongs to this room. There we go. So there we go. These. So that opens up to a whole area. Those two spots just kind of end off. So these are just generally used to indicate there's nothing there. Don't really need to use them, but I figured just for fun, why not? Cool. So there we go. So it's beginning of the next turn. What was the rule for this? Beginning of turn, something happens. Okay. I don't think it's a big deal. Since we're not fighting anything right now, it's not a problem. So, first things first, Outlaw's gonna move. He's only got 4 movement. Oh, I gotta first things first, I have to roll for his grit. See if he gains anything back, or anything. Nope, he got a 5. Come on. Alright. So he's just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Part of me wants to have him move faster. I don't like him being in this room. Oh, it takes 2 hits. Starting each turn. So he should take 2 horror hits. So again, I start each turn in this room. I forgot to do that. Start every turn in this room. Anybody in there takes 4 hits. He's supposed to take 2, the prospector. So I'll just go ahead and roll 2. He needs 5 pluses. He's been pretty fortunate so far. He got 2 4s, so therefore he took 2 additional horror hits. This room is freaking him out. He's down to 11 sanity, which is actually still really good. So he moved up, and I don't know if I want him to scavenge or if I want him to just keep moving. I kind of want them out of this room. Yeah, I want them out of this room. This is a bad room. So I'm gonna spend grit on my outlaw. I'm gonna have him move up a little bit further. So he moves up 2. We had spend 1. And I'm gonna have him scavenge. So he gets 2 dice for scavenge. Finds nothing. That dude has been like a whole lot of nothing so far in this round. This prospect's been doing a lot more. So at the end of the calling it orphan, but keep the outlaw's turn. I'm gonna go ahead and move along to the prospector. He's gonna move up to 4. 2, 2, 3, 4, and I'm gonna have him also spend his grit. Did I already do that? I think I already spent that. Anyway, yeah, I think I did. So I'm gonna have him spend his grit to move further into the room. Nice. So again, I'm having him move to the edge, and he's going to peek into that room using his action. That means I need to pull out another tile. That's an advanced rule card. I don't think I'm going to use that for this game. I kind of want things to keep advancing. I don't want to turn around and spend the next 30 minutes trying to go to another room. So I'm going to avoid that one for now. Ooh, okay. All right then. The ore chute. That is in the Tradaran set. So we need the ore chute. So glad I have these things organized. So again, I'm going to keep this just to show that we found one of the clues. Come on now. Just gonna put that there for now. And goes like this. Put an exploration token on it. That room has yet to be scavenged. It's still part of this room. I'll paint these models someday, I promise. I got a chunk of them painted, but it just keeps adding too much to this game. So he peeked into the room. That's pretty much his action, his activation. So we're going to move on to the exploration part of the game. We'll flip this over. No clues yet. No portal either. That's a bummer. So it just kind of turns this into a doorway, which is the only way through anyway. But we also get an encounter. And the old prospector just keeps seeing crazy things, I'm guessing. So mangled remains. A broken and twisted mess that looks like it may once have been human rests here. The sight is not pretty, the smell is worse. If there is someone you were looking for as part of your mission, this is all that remains of them. They are considered dead. Each hero gains 25 XP. The posse may either turn back with this knowledge or continue to finish the mission for some good old-fashioned revenge. That's pretty cool. Otherwise, each hero may take a Spirit 6 plus test. If passed, recover 1 grit. If failed, take oh my god, take D6 4 hits. Okay. True. And it's not on that tile either. Each hero takes it. So this is gonna hurt a little. So we'll start with the Prospector. He's got 2 spirits, so he rolls 2d6. He flippin' made it. I think the other room, he's probably still blind and... No, he just doesn't care. He's here for Darkstone. Let's see what the Outlaw thinks. He didn't like it so much. So he takes... Oh! D6 4 hits. I have to make 6 rolls of D6 on 4 plus. Oh, God. I take 4 sanity damage. Ouch. You know, for an outlaw, I'm a little disappointed. You kind of figured that they would be a little used to seeing a dead body, but... Alright. I mean, that freaked them the hell out. Any special rules? Nothing? Nope. I should be reading that. He gets... That's on me. Gotta learn. The outlaw gets to roll 2 dice for movement, which means they get 2 dice for the grit roll. I just choose which one I want, which obviously I'm going to choose 6. Doesn't make any sense. Why bother? I guess it makes sense. Just figure you get the highest of the 2. So anyway, Prospector went in there, ignored the body, Outlaw went in there, freaked the hell out. I mean, it seen that body, horrified the hell out of him. And that is it in that room? Yep. So once again, we end that turn. And we do a whole back darkness roll. Oh, and we also went down. We gotta keep doing that. We went down one spot. Because we're 3 rooms in right now. So, Prospector is going to roll. I knew it. I was like, this is the turning point of the game for me. It's like, once I saw that order hit. So, we failed. So what happens is the darkness advances. Now as the darkness advances, when it reaches certain points on the track, bad things happen. We draw darkness cards, or we add the worst part, growing dread cards to the stack. To a stack. Like they don't reveal until we fight the final boss. And what sucks about that I've had it happen before where we drew 5 growing dread cards, and when we finally reached the boss, it gave them health, damage bonuses, a whole bunch of stuff. We didn't last 2 turns. It was crazy. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on, because luckily we're only on space 1 of the darkness. So, next thing to do is it's the start of the turn. 2 people are still on that map tile, so take 2 horror hits. 2 horror hits. So the Prospector, we'll start with the Outlaw first. The Outlaw fails both. He is not doing well. So the Outlaw, at this point, is roughly half his sanity. And Prospector, you guys need to get off that damn tile. Whatever came down, whatever sparked it, howling of demons or something. Is that 5? Howling of demons or something echoing through the dungeon. Freak both these guys out. They probably suspect that whatever that sound was, it's probably what killed the person in that. Damn. Crazy. So, that's the end of that. Now we move on to initiative order. So, we first start off with, once again, the Outlaw. The Outlaw rolls to see if he gains his grit. I get to roll 2 dice because he's the Outlaw. I should have known that. Okay, so he doesn't get anything. I'm gonna move him 1, 2, 3, 4, so he's off the tile. And I'll have him do a scavenge while he's in here. Okay. That's the end of his turn. There's not a remaining place, so just get rid of it. And I'm going to have Prospector. He's going to go ahead and roll his grit. He gets it back. And then I'm going to have him move up. 1, 2, 3. No special rules on the sound. 4. And I don't have. Well, I could spend the grit to have him move a little bit more if I wanted to, but I'm not. I'm gonna let him scavenge this room with his 3 dice. He found a scavenge. So let's see what he found. I need to go into his notes. There we go. Once again, he found nothing but 10 XP. So total he got, what, 20 so far? Yeah, it's okay. So next thing we're going to do is did his thing, scavenge, that's the end of his turn. We didn't do any exploration at all. So right straight to hold back the darkness. So let's take a look and see what we got. He's not making his rolls now. This is dangerous. Since that happened, yeah, we have to draw a darkness card, which I'll do right here. Part 2, darkness. Strength of the void, of course, to remain in play. All void enemies are now 1 plus defense. Once you get a little stronger, just a little. Oh my god. So, what are we giving them now? So during the next fight, they get bonuses. Then we're also giving them defense bonuses. Oh my goodness! Thank God I'm playing a drifter. Drifter gives elite bonuses to monsters. I'm hoping we get into a fight. I want to show you the stuff I added to this for the monster stuff. It's pretty much the same thing, but it's as what you've been seeing, but it's still just cool. It's all here. You can see it popping in and out. Better than me using the screen here all the time to display things. I mean, it's cool. I like it. It helps, but still. So that was hold back darkness. Nobody's on the tile anymore. So nobody's getting the effects of that. The gas hit the hallucinogenic gases. So we're going right straight to initiative. So the very first person, initiative didn't matter, is Outlaw. So the Outlaw is going to move up to 4. Oh, no, he's going to check for his grit. Might add that as a little card to indent or something. He got 2 dice, I keep forgetting. But either way, he got his grit back. Grit's very important in this game. It helps. And then he's going to move up. 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to... We scavenge this room. He can scavenge one extra time in a room. He can't, so that room is pretty much done for, except for the Prospector. Prospector's going to end up peeking through that door. So the Prospector did not get an additional grip, but he's going to move up, break the door, peek through. So we'll go ahead and get all this. move this over here. And we draw a map tile. A rail curve. And that is in Tradera. That's it. Yep. So we found a rail curve. And put an exploration token on it. Is he doing anything else? No, he peeked through the room, he did that. And that's the end of his turn. We're going to go ahead and do the exploration. We found final clue. And therefore we're ignoring the encounter because we're going right straight into the boss fight. Before we get into the boss fight, I do want to take a small break. We've been playing now for how long? I don't know. We've been playing since... Yeah, I want to take a small break. So I'm going to take a small break, and I'll be right back, and we'll get right into the boss fight, and we'll go from there. So I'll catch you in a bit. welcome back. So, as we saw before we went on break, our adventurers, or heroes, went room to room, running into a room that had nothing in it, another room that had a whole bunch of gases, and that made the heroes hallucinate as they were wandering through. Then ran into a dead corpse in another room that freaked out the outlaw. And now here we are, they found the final clue. They found the room full of dark stone that they're after. It zoomed in on me. That's okay. So, which also means it's boss fight time. So, as we also ran into during the last before the break, we had darkness cards that were being revealed that are going to affect this fight. So chances are probably either going to die or run away. Because you can do that. Beginning of any turn, I can just be like, hey, we're out of here. We ain't surviving this. But luckily we're going to be taking on a high threat because it's only two-player. We're still low level. So we'll be taking on just a high threat instead of an epic. I don't want to take on Cthulhu. I don't want to take on Belial. I don't want to take on a sandworm. Not a great time. So, back to the game. We seriously only went in. How many rooms? We went in 4 rooms. So we should have gone. Oh, I didn't mark it. There. Not bad. So that's where we're at right now. And we now need to see what creature we fight in this room. So let's move on to that. And I will go ahead and draw a high threat card. What the F? 2 Shadow Wraiths. Special notes, death memory, roll a d6. On 4+, draw a haunted memory card for the Shadow Wraiths. That could be bad. Hold on, let me do the thing. Maybe we'll zoom. We'll move around. Hold on. Let me do this. I think I can... Or is it this? That's it. Nope. I'll figure it out another time. I'll just have it on me. So now we're taking on 2 Shadow Wraiths. So let me go get those Wraiths. And let me roll to see if they have a Shadow Memory. And it's a roll of a 4+. So it's a half chance. Hold on, I need to roll 1 die. On top of the darkness crap they get. Syrinscape sound effects. Again, that's Syrinscape is an ambient sound and music application you can use. I've been using it for D&D and everything, and I can't recommend it any. I just can't recommend it enough for anybody who wants to add a little bit of flavor to their sessions, like right here. I'll be using it for art and horror. I'll be using it for everything. It's just when you do streaming, you have to credit the sound that you're using, and it's actually fairly easy to do. But anyway, so I'm taking on Shadow Warriors. That is these two nasty guys right here, and I need haunted memories, which there we go. This is the Haunted Memories deck. That is going to help us determine, I'm guessing what kind of race these are. So that's the deck. And I'm going to go ahead and just pull a random card out. And creature the race will be fighting. Their haunted memory is the last stand. Killed in life while battling overwhelming odds, this fallen hero now reenacts the fight for all eternity in death. To his special vision, any travelers he encounters are seen as part of the endless hordes of attackers he must hold off at all costs. So, his special rules, standing against time, to hold back the darkness rolls needs to be one higher than to succeed. That sucks. Desperate fight. Anytime the hold back darkness roll is failed, not on depth events, all shadow wraiths activate twice during their turn. Okay. Alright, so on top of that, I have to remember that they have a whole bunch of rules for hold back darkness. I'll just put this here to remember. Actually, you can put it here. Oh, so what if I can control that? Nope. What I will do though is this. Trying to get a zoom shot of the battle area. So how setting monsters up in this game, unless they're ambushing, they actually straight up start, of course, right next to you. If they're not ambushing, they start on the very opposite side of the map tile in a checkerboard pattern. So you first start off with the first slot, which is this right here, the edge of the tile. I might as well use I put them away, didn't I? I'll just go ahead and do this. So I'll put one here. And one here. Then if there were more guys, would we always start at one side, so it would be here, 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 here. That's basically how the rules work. It's a checkerboard pattern thing. And we need to pull up their card. Hold on. That would have been a smart thing for me to do. So we go grab the monster card. This is a normal monster. Shadow Race. Okay. Oh. Because it's a different type. Yeah, it's a shadow race. So maybe it's just race. I wish we could tell you what kind of rate they are. Hold on one second. I'm going to have to look it up because this is a special type of wraith. And I have everything set up to just the base cards, and of course the game throws me a curveball. So I need to figure this out. That's weird. Cards. Adventure monsters. There they are. Normally I have it as the plural. Okay. So I know what I did wrong. I need to look up monster. There it is. Okay, so put that one away. We'll go back to this. So this is what we're fighting. He's initiative 5, so that means he's gonna go first because both my guys are 4 and 2. And they have a whole heap of special rules, a lot of good combat. They have, what, 6 plus 2 per hero, so they have 10 health pop. I am not liking some of what I'm seeing. They do have fear and terror. So, notes of death. Draw a wraith relic card for each shadow wraith when it enters play. So I gotta do that too. Terror 1, a hero starting their activation on the same map tile takes 1 horror hit. Oh. A hero starting their activation adjacent tiles. Adjacent takes 4 horror hits. That's weird. So it's less horrifying when you're on the same tile than it is adjacent. Wraith form. Shadow Wraiths move through other models and have armor 3+ against all damage not caused by critical hits. This armor may not be ignored. Also, critical hits do not ignore Shadow's defense. So not only do I have to roll to see if wow. So I have to roll my damage, and if I roll anything above a 3, it does damage, but he also gets armor, unless I crit. Wow, that's crazy. Soul Drain. Shadow Wraith melee to hit rolls of 6+ cause critical damage. Oh god. And of course, they're 3+ range and melee. Do they have a range attack? Well, I guess we're going to find out because they get special abilities for it. Combat 3, damage 2 a pop. So they can do 6 damage on a hit. It's not good. Luckily, I have 2 revives, so at the end of the turn, I get to revive my character. And if I remember correctly, I'm gonna have to remember how to do this, because I'm pretty certain that I'm gonna have to use a revive. So you just make sure you're checking the updated rules section. I'm not 100% sure how revives work. It's been a while. So revive tokens are a special bonus that allow a hero to overcome otherwise dire situations. Usually revive tokens are held by the entire party as a whole rather than the individual hero. Whenever a hero is KO'd, if the party has one or more revive tokens discarded, the hero is restored to full health and full sanity and may recover 1 grit. The hero does not need to roll for injury or madness. So I get, because I'm only playing 2 characters, I actually get 2 of those. So awesome, because I'm gonna need them. And then let's go look for Shadow Wraith's abilities. They need Wraith relics. You get one too. So we'll say, I wish I had a way to mark them. This one belongs to this guy, and this one belongs to this guy. You know what? We'll just. Oh God. Okay. So this guy. Get some type of lantern. Oh, and this one's a pistol. So the lantern. So on top of the whole back darts and stuff. They also have one of them. This one will have the lantern. So this guy will have. Oh, that makes sense. You know what? I bet you use a model that has this pistol on it. I'll be right back. It sure does. So this guy has pistol, that guy has lantern. So the lantern, Death's Lantern. Each enemy on the same and adjacent map tiles as the Shadow Wraith have +1 health. So these guys are +1 health now. So they're 11. Okay. At the start of the Shadow Wraith's activation each turn, roll 2d6 to hold back the living. If the roll is equal to or greater than the number at the bottom of the current stage of the depth track that the darkness marker is in, every hero takes 1 corruption hit. That's bad. If doubles are rolled instead, trigger the depth event, just as though the heroes rolled it on the holding back the darkness. Gotta make sense of this part though. If the roll is equal to or greater than the number at the bottom of the current stage of the depth track. Okay, so the area that's in right now is a 9 plus. So I have to roll 9 plus. If the roll is equal to or greater than the number. So if the roll is 9 plus, corruption. If it doesn't, nothing happens. But if it doubles or rolls depth event, that thing is awful. Dead man's pistol. Plus one initiative. Too bad this isn't a weapon you can take. Plus one to initiative. So that guy, it doesn't matter. They're both faster than mine. The Shadow Wraith gains the standard special rule shootout, as well as following ranged attack. He gets a range of 8 with 2 shots and damage D6. Range to hit rolls of 6 plus ignore defense. Range to hit rolls of 6 plus ignore defense. Oh my god. After attacking the main target, makes an additional full range attack against one other random hero within range. Or D3 other heroes on brutal mode. Brutal mode. It's like New Game Plus. We'll just say that. It's awful. It's just not good. So plus one to initiative. That's not a problem, but it's the shootout rule. I don't remember what shootout means. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of things. There's a lot of rules right now. Enemies. You know what? There we go. A little bit too bright on these, though. Might have to increase. I wonder if they're better. It's facing that way. That's what over here. Enemies shoot out for ranged attacks over melee. They move and target using shootout markers with the following procedure. Ambush. When ambushing, well, they're not ambushing, so it's not a big deal. Retreat. Wait, actually, hold on. When ambushing, select the random hero and place all the shootout enemies. Place all of the shootout enemies on that hero's map tile as far away from the heroes as possible. Retreat. If adjacent or to a hero at the start of its activation, roll a d6. On 4 plus, makes a free move along the shortest distance to no longer be adjacent. Otherwise, make a melee attack against a random adjacent hero. Wow. Target a random hero without a shootout marker yet, and moves. They move and target using shootout markers with the following procedures. So they straight up ambush? No, they can't. That's ridiculous. They move and target using shootout markers. Following procedure. Yeah, it's weird though. It's only one model that's getting this rule, isn't it? Yeah, just him. So okay. So right now he's in a good spot. He's not adjacent, so we move on to target. Target a random hero without a shootout marker yet. God, there is a lot going on here. Target a random hero without a shootout marker yet. Move the shortest distance to the range of Otherwise, at the end of its move, target a new random hero that is within range and in sight, and place a shield marker on them. So they just keep. So they're not ambushing. Boom. They're not next to a hero. If your hero has started attacking, you roll a d6 and a 4+ makes a free move on short distance to no longer be adjacent. Otherwise, make a melee attack against a... Okay. So then this is just going to activate that target a random hero with that shoot marker. And we'll just use the sand marker for now. It's a random hero. I'll say that the Outlaw is a 1 through 3, the Prospector is a 4 through 6. Oh yeah, he wants that out one dead. So he's going to put it on the Outlaw. And... So first he had to move, then he puts the shootout token on him. What's the range? Range 8, 1, 2, 5, 6. Yeah, perfect. And then make range attacks. Once all the enemy groups has moved, and place shootout markers, roll the range attacks against the heroes, each shootout marker on them, and then remove all shootout markers. That's a lot to remember. Oh, that's just horrible. Okay. So first thing he's going to do is shoot at the Outlaw using this gun. So he basically just gets to shoot at both guys every turn. I need to kill him. Oh, the other guy's just as bad, not worse. It's like I have a time limit with this guy, and this guy here just does a lot of damage. So, wow. So he's going to move back, you put a shootout marker on this guy, he's going to fire at him. 2 shots. Please fail. Does he have critical rules? Does not. Oh god, he's a 3+ on everything. Oh, God, I better make these. They ignore defense. Oh. One of them ignores defense. Also, I forgot to bring back those darkness cards. Whoops. Of course. So those darkness cards were... During the next fight, all enemies are +2 damage on their attacks. When a hero kills one of these enemies, that hero also collects 1 Darkstone. Oh, that's just wrong. So he's +2 on his attacks. So I'm just going to put wound markers on him to remind myself that he's got bonus to wounds. That's just awful. So there's that, and then they also have +1 defense. So they're a 4 defense right now. Yeah, that's fair. Okay. That's fair. So he's ignoring defense on one. I'm gonna roll my defense on the other. I need a 4 plus. So I took D6 wound, D6. Hold on. The D6 hits? No, damage D6. So I took 3 points of damage. Or the Outlaw took 3 points of damage. Shotguns look better. Oh. But he's plus 2 damage. So technically... 2 more. Yeah, this ain't looking good. Then he fires, of course, because of the shootout rule, he fires a shot at the Prospector. Or 2 shots at the Prospector. Neither one hit him. He's lucky. Then it's the next guy. Jimmy, tile. Plus 1 health. We both have 11 health. Start of the Shadow Race activation. Each turn, roll 2d6, hold back the living. I should have done that. Okay, if the roll is equal to or greater to... Hero take 1 corruption hit. So please make under 9. That was almost doubles. That would have been bad. Okay, so we're safe, but he's still going to attack. If I remember correctly, does he have range? No, he does not. I don't believe so. He does have range abilities, but he has no range attack. He just has melee, so he's going to move in and attack. Oh, damn. Wait. Shadow Rays objects have all damage not caused by critical threat may not be ignored. That is just a lot. Okay, so he's 7 movement. I'm going to roll to see who he's targeting. Again, 1 through 1 through 3, and then 4 through 6. Why is it rolling doubles all the time? He wants the Prospector. So he just swoops right on in after the Prospector. And he's going to attack him with 3 combat. They're plus 2 damage on these attacks. So 1, 2, 3. He uses 3 pluses, and then he gets all of them. He could potentially take down the Prospector right now. Could he? No, but really close. Okay, so 2 damage plus... No, plus 1 damage per... That means that... Hold on. Plus 2 to the weapon. It should have been extra damage. Because of the darkness. So many things. So... Just 2 models. Look at all the rules you have to follow. So anyway, he's getting plus 1 damage for... Oh my god. For this. No, 1 defense. Plus 2 damage. So he technically took Okay. So plus 2 damage to these attacks. Get all 4. All 3. So therefore the Prospector has to make a 4 plus on these 3 with using his defense. So he took... Actually, was it a special rule for a specific class? All enemies are their attacks. So they're getting plus 4. No. They're getting plus 2. He's getting plus 4. He's just getting plus 2. My God, so many rules. Okay. So plus 2. He missed 1. Right? So he took 5 points of damage. Alright. Dynamite's not gonna come in handy right now. Can't critical these guys. But the Outlaw, I might just go all out and fire 6 shots at him. Yeah. So first things first. They have to take. He's on the opposite tile, so he has to take a fear test. All heroes standing in the activation adjacent tile. Oh, adjacent. So they have to be right next to him. So on the same tile. He does nothing happens to him. That's what it was. So, because fear only happens when the target is right next to him, or the hero is right next to him. Starting. Terror is when you're on the same tile. And there's another one where you're on adjacent tiles. That isn't happening. So right now we're just getting nothing on the Outlaw. So the Outlaw, he's gonna probably just move up 1. If I can move the camera, get a better shot. There we go. He's gonna move up 1. If there's any way we can do this. Anyway, he's gonna move up 1. And I'm gonna have him just unload. Oh, I need to roll for grit first. He gets 2. He gets a grit back. So I'm gonna have him unload his Outlaw pistols into the Shadow Wraith. Hopefully, I do well on these. I need 4 pluses. Nope. 5 pluses. Ooh. Okay. I think I'm gonna do well. I only got 1. I'm gonna roll 5 of those, or re-roll 5 of those. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3 of the shots went through. So they struck him. And I want to kill this guy first. I don't like holding back the darkness crap. They're plus 1 defense, so they're at 4 defense. And they get armor. Oh my God. Okay, so the first attack, I don't get criticals because I need to be adjacent. Damn. Oh, that's a shotgun. Well, either way, I don't get. You don't get critical if you dual wield. That's unless you have special rules that ignore that. You don't get criticals on dual wielding weapons. That's what I did. I used both my Outlaw pistols to fire 6 shots into this guy. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to roll all 3 of them. I'm going to roll one of those attacks on him. 5, so it would do 1 damage. But he gets armor against it. And what's the armor save? 3 plus? Did I roll a crit at all on this? I lost it. think one of them was a crit. Could have sworn I saw 6 2 5s. I should have paid attention. I'm gonna say it was a crit. So it would ignore the armor, dealing 1 point of damage. Reason why I kind of like using physical dice. So 1 point of damage. Now here is normal when you're playing a campaign character. I'm not doing experience with these guys because I'm probably just going to start over again with another set of characters the next time I play. But when you're playing with a campaign character, you're building up experience. Like when we were going from room to room, and I was having the prospector scavenge. He wasn't finding anything, but he was gaining experience just for scavenging the room successfully. You would add this up, and of course, at any point, once you reach enough experience, you just be like, I'm leveling up. And you take the level of character, you get go down to the skill tree, you roll to see what benefits you get. Anytime you deal damage to a specific type of enemy, so there's two ways to get experience from an enemy. One, usually it's the small enemies with like limited experience, like void spiders, zombies. When you kill one, you get experience for killing it. Some monsters have a ton of health, which are usually boss monsters, stuff like that. Anytime you deal damage, it's usually what you see here on XP, which would be 5 plus 10 each. That's per point of damage. So since I dealt 1 damage here, it's 5 plus 10. If I would have done 2 points damage, it would have been 5 plus 20. If I did 3, it would have been 5 plus 30. That's for every hit, X amount of damage. So in this case, I would have gained 15 points of experience on my Outlaw. So he's got 1 damage on him. I'm going to roll to see what the next hit does. Nothing, because defense is a 4 thanks to the darkness card. And the next roll, come on, please. Now, if I wanted to, I could re-roll one of these guys, but something tells me I'm going to want to do what I did this time, and yeah, things aren't looking good. I think we're going to lose. But either way, I'd rather hold that for trying to re-roll my attacks. So, now all I did was 1 damage. It's over for the Outlaw. That's it for him. I'm going to move on over to the Prospector. The Prospector has a lot of rules here. He's really good. Problem is, what's his combat? Yeah, I think combat 2 is across the board. It's just your melee weapons kind of build to that. Because physically you're doing what everybody else can do, but your weapons just kind of make it better. So in this case, he's using the heavy pickaxe, which is a 2-hander, so that's all I can really combine. Ooh, Miner's Canteen. So he doesn't have any other special rules other than Death Blow. So his Death Blow special rule is the hero's to hit rolls of 8 plus. So I'm going to be using a D8 with his pickaxe. Normally you do D6s, but some weapons like shotguns, heavy two-handed weapons like shotguns and pickaxes usually are D8 instead of a set of D6s. So higher chances of crit too. If I remember correctly, crits are usually crits with heavy weapons are usually a 6, 7, or 8 instead of a 6. Although there's some characters that's a 5 plus crit, and I think that might be... I think it might be the Drifter. Drifter's hard mode. Very hard mode. Every time you get into a combat, the Drifter will add elite abilities. And elite abilities are pretty nasty. But he's going to use the Prospector's going to use Heavy Axe. And the cool thing about him is that his special rule is Death Blow. The hero is to hit rolls of 8 plus, double the damage roll to that hit. Note that this is only usable for weapons that use the D8 for hit rolls. which happens to be the heavy axe. So, the rules of the heavy axe are it's a two-hander, so I can't really combine it with anything. Your melee attacks use the D8 to hit. 6, 7, 8 count as critical. Now, as we notice with this guy, he still gets his armor saves, unless I crit. I hope I crit. And the damage, his defense is still a 4. Right? I think his defense ignores criticals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack him with that. And my combat hits are also +1 damage. So it's a pretty good weapon. So let's... Luckily I have a grit, so just in case I fail this, it is one die attack. Let's see what happens with this pickaxe. If it's a 6, 7, or 8, I'm golden. Got myself a crit. So I'm ignoring his armor saves, but I still have to break through his defense of a 4. But my damage output is doubled what I rolled. If I roll high, I could... Prospector's awesome. I could instantly kill him right now. So here goes the damage, and I can still grit roll this if I wanted to. How much health do you have? 11? Minus 1, so he's down to 10. That's 12 minus 4, so he'd have 2 hit points. I really want him dead, because his hold back the darkness is going to totally screw us. But I rolled really good. Can I do anything with this? Oh, plus 1 damage. So I rolled so it's technically 13 damage. He'd still have 1 hit point left. I really wish the Outlaw did at least one more point of damage. Oh man. So that sucks. I could re-roll it and try to go for a 7 or 8, but it's just it was already a good roll and he's already near death, and I'm thinking I think I'm just gonna roll. Did I roll for? I already used one of his axe anyway. Okay, so I'm just gonna say, do they heal? I really need him dead. Screw it. I'm not gonna take a chance. Or should I? A really good chance of getting my grit back next turn, but no, I'm gonna just... Plus 1 damage, 6 times 2, 12, 13, minus 4 points, 9 points damage. They're 11 health because of the darkness card. Oh, that's awful. He's almost dead. Well, that's it. So that's the end of the turn. And go ahead and hide that for a second. It's a plus 1 now, so we need to make 8 pluses. Yeah, 1 higher. Anytime I go back to darkness roll, it's failed. All shadow rays activate twice during the... Oh my god. Now, I think I have a way to mess with that. No, it's escape. Nope, I don't. Oh, I need a 9 plus. Or 8 plus. Ah! I do not want them to have 2 turns. So, next thing to do is... Oh boy. They go first. The guy, of course, with the gun does his thing. He still has him as a target. He's not dead yet. He's saying he can continue with that. He's not going to bother moving. So he's going to crack those 2 shots at him. He gets 1. Did it ignore defense? I remember being something crazy about this. Okay, so he doesn't get crit rules. So I'm going to make a defense roll against that of 4 plus. The Outlaw managed to dodge out of that attack. Then he makes 2 shots at the Prospector. He gets a crit on him. And he does D6. He's ignoring his defense, so he does a D6 plus 1. Hold on, this is 2? I'm pretty sure it's 2. Oh my goodness. We need to find a better way to do this. Yeah, plus 2 damage. So he's getting plus 2 with damage D6. This is nuts. So D6 plus 2 is what he's getting to damage the Prospector. He's ignoring his defense. So 5 points of damage. We still have our 2 revives, so we're actually doing pretty good, all things considered. So Prospector's still doing well, he still has 6 health. The Wraith with the Relic. Oh wait. We had to make a hold back living again. Please be under... Is that what darkness one is again? Yeah, so make under a 9. Whoops. God, that sucks. So, the roll is equal to or greater than the number at the bottom of the current stage of the track. Every hero takes 1 corruption hit. Okay. So you each take 1 corruption hit, so we need to make a willpower against those corruption hits. If it's a hit, you make your defense or willpower against it. If it's not a hit, it says you take a damage. You straight up just take the damage. So we'll start off with the Outlaw. He needs to make a 4 plus sanity against this corruption. Failed miserably. I don't have my tokens for that. I'll just cheat. I'll just use the scavenge for now. And the Prospector. Same thing. Failed. Okay. It takes 5 corruption to build a mutation. I think I already talked about this at the beginning of the game or the night. If you get 2 of the same mutation, like you keep getting mutation until you get 2 of the same. The moment you get 2 of the same, you're done. I think there might be actually one part mutation that just straight up kills you. But you can come back to life. You go to the church and you spend lots of money and they can bring you back to life. I don't think they get rid of all the mutations, though. I think they just kind of cut the bad one out. So they now have corruption. He's now going to attack Prospector because he's still his target. Let's bring up their card. So, again, remember correctly, he's getting 2 wounds. Wait a minute. He did an additional 2 wounds to Prospector. Because it's 2 wounds from the Darkness Guard, 2 wounds from... What's this? No. That's in total from the Darkness Guard. Let's do D6. Yeah. We're good. That's a lot to remember. So he's going to attack him with combat. So he's going to attack him with 3 combat at 4 damage a pop. He might kill the Prospector. Yeah, because he's only got 3 pluses. Luckily, he's not using the pistol. Prospector needs to make... Prospector needs to make 3 defense rolls. Kill him? No. So Prospector's going to take... Actually, hold on, it's 1 hit. So he's going to take... Not quite kill him, but very close. He's going to take that 5 points of damage. He's got 1 health point left. The Outlaw is going to roll for grit. You got 1 back. Hopefully he can kill the Wraith in front of him. Oh, it's got 1 last health point. And he's going to take 6 shots with his Outlaw's pistols. What's the range on these things? 5? Use your grit to reroll 4 of them. Crits don't matter when dual wielding. Or don't have to dual wielding. So I got 3 hits. And the other guy's well out of my range. But what I'm going to do... Roll the first one. And it's -4. Yeah, -4. I killed him. So that Wraith is gone. We don't have to worry about that crap anymore. Goodbye, buddy. Won't miss you. And he's out of range, so I can't use my other 2 attacks against him. I probably should have just charged on in there. Whoops. Because if I would have gone here, I could have been like, used that hit on him, and then my next 2 could have popped on him. That would have been the smart thing to do. Whoops. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have the Prospector just bum rush this guy. Can you move all the way back? No, he was right here, wasn't he? Yeah. So 1, 2, he'll be right there. So first I'm going to have him roll for grit. Nope. Then I'm going to have him go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to have him knock that guy with his heavy pickaxe again. Add 1d8. I'm going to have him re-roll that. I mean, it hit. Did it? Yeah, it hit. That would have been a nice crit, though. Well, it's whatever I roll plus 1. So I struck him. So 6 points of damage minus 4, he gets 2 points of damage. I'm just glad that the guy's gone, because I don't really want any more hold back the living, hold back darkness, craziness. So at the end of that, it's now back to again, I gotta find a better, easier way to do this. Might actually just have it on every single thing. So again, actually that's gone. So no, these guys just straight up add it. So I need to make 8 plus. Safe. So we're good on the darkness. That's gone, so we don't have to worry about that happening. He's going to take pop shots at the Outlaw. He's still his target. Two shots, damage D6 plus 2. He's definitely within range. He gets one crit ignoring defense. The Outlaw's down. He missed the other one, so therefore, yeah, he just did that 6. So after him, it's would have been the Outlaw. The Outlaw's down. The revive, I believe, happens at the beginning of the next turn. Revive tokens are special. So the heroes are cut to overcome otherwise dire situations. Whenever a hero is KO'd, if the party has 1 or more revive tokens, 1 token is discarded and the hero is restored. So technically, it says whenever a hero is KO'd, meaning during his turn, he KO'd the Outlaw. Therefore, I used revive during that part of that turn, brought him back, and since the Outlaw hasn't gone yet, and he's next, he should be able to get his turn. How did that happen? Okay, so now I'm going to roll for grit. Oh, we haven't been doing horror hits. Yeah, let me get the Wraith card out. This is why it's nice to have more than one person playing. There's an awful lot of rules to remember while playing this game. Because the Prospector should have... No, actually, he rolled up to him, so he would have just taken a terror test. Which wouldn't have really done much to him anyway. But we'll go ahead and roll it just the same. So he would have had to make a horror check. No. And that would have been a pass anyway. So nothing happened to him. See? Yep, he is. here. What I will do is that he's not on the same map tile, so I'm gonna have him move in because he needs to be in range to shoot the guy. And actually, since he was down, he would actually change his random target. Gonna have him roll his grit. Nope. Oh, that's right. It's two dice. Nope. And I'm gonna have him still fire his outlaw pistols into this guy. With a range of 5 plus, I got 2. 2 crits. Okay. So that means it ignores their armor. But they still have to make a 5 plus to do any type of damage. So here's the first one. And here's the second one. So 1 point of damage. Prospector's gonna get blasted though by some horror hits here in a second. Alright, so the Prospector's turn. He's gotta make some horror checks at... He's gonna make... Their 4 horror hits? Yeah, so he's gonna make 4 horror hits at defense of 5 plus. He takes 2. He's doing pretty good on the sanity. He's got a lot of 2. So now, I'm going to check and see if he gets his grit. Nope. And we're going to roll to see what he does with his pickaxe. Please crit. We could use it. So it's double whatever I roll on the damage. Minus 4, and he doesn't get his armor. Come on, please. I think I just killed him. So 16 minus he's dead. Yeah. That pickaxe is nasty. So we actually successfully completed this mission. It's been a long time since I've actually succeeded in this. But then again, it's been relatively short. We didn't really run into any monsters other than the boss. But now we get to see... Once we've completed it, we have... Where is it? Success conditions. Okay, so... Alright, so... We succeeded in taking down the threat. So therefore we completed the mission. And we only used 1 revive. Reward the and Prospector nasty. Well, before we do the rewards, normally once you completed a combat, for every monster group, you get 1 loot per player. So technically we only fought 1 monster group, even though there's 2 monsters, they're part of the same group. So if we had a high threat card that was like, hey, pull 2 low threat cards out of the game, you fight these 2 monster groups, we would get 1 loot for each group. We only fought 1 group, so we only get 1 loot. So this is how this part works. We go back here, and let's say the outlaw draws a loot. Got 100 gold and 20 XP. Then the Prospector. Oh, whoops, that's scavenge. You got 1 dark stone and 30 XP. Oh, we also get bonuses, if I remember correctly. So we got 1 dark stone and 30 XP. That's a nice card. If I remember correctly... So we defeated them. So we would get so when a hero kills one of the enemies, the hero may also collect 1 dark stone. So technically the prospector would have gotten an additional 2 dark stone because he killed those 2 guys. So he'd have 3 dark stone right now at XP. And dark stone's worth a lot. You can sell it in town for a lot of money. Whoops. You can sell it in town for a lot of money. You can use it to upgrade your weapons. For example, the Outlaw pistols I've been using on him. Actually, I would probably upgrade the heavy axe. That thing's been amazing. Although the pistols could use a little more damage. But you can use dark stone to upgrade them if they have these upgrade slots. Now, pistols have 3 upgrade slots, which is awesome. The heavy pickaxe has 2. But when you go to town, there's like a blacksmith and these other things. Sometimes when you're out just adventuring, you might run into an artifact or something that you can imbue into a weapon, giving fire damage or something. So finding dark stone lets you do that because it costs, I think, 1 dark stone to imbue it. Or it will actually tell you on card how much it costs to imbue it on a weapon. Another thing too is as you're carrying dark stone, at the end of any adventure, before you go back to town, you tally how many pieces of dark stone you have, and you have to roll corruption hits for every single dark stone. If you fail, you get corruption. If you pass, of course, nothing happens. But they do make gear that lets you ignore that. Like there's a chest, dark stone chest that you put your dark stone into. I think it carries up to 6, but it ignores the dark stone rules at the end of the adventure. So there's a lot of ways around certain things. But anyway, so we got our loot. Now it's the rewards at the end of the mission because we somehow succeeded. Actually, no, we succeeded because really there was not much to this dungeon. We went seriously 4 rooms in and found all the clues. The XP gain and amount of dark stone that the heroes find in the deposit is based on the mission length they chose before the mission began. As noted below, the heroes receive the reward for completing the mission. So the mission length we chose was, of course, small deposit. That's why it took us no time to get here. We got 25 XP and need 3 dark stone. So we found... I wish it would stop doing that. Okay. 3 additional pieces. So we found 6 dark stone total. We're rich. We're doing really good. Kind of want to keep these guys. And if it failed, like... Yeah, if we failed the darkness escapes the mines and wreaks havoc on the countryside and neighboring towns. When the heroes travel to the frontier town before the next adventure, these 3 random buildings there have been destroyed by the escaping darkness. So it can really affect your next adventure because going back to town gives you a lot of benefits. Obviously, you can buy bag items, you can buy gear, upgrade your weapons. They destroy the blacksmith, well, now you have to hold on to that dark stone for the next adventure. But that's pretty much there. And where are we right now? Oh, okay. So what we did today, we went through 1 dungeon. It was very relatively small. If anything, this couldn't have been any better. Normally, don't make it too far. Sometimes you don't even make it to the boss. It gets really difficult. Especially with new exploration tokens. I mean, they added more... Yeah, they added more... They made it smaller. Crap. Somewhere. There it is. But anyway, they made the deck a little bit smaller. I think it was originally like 12 or something. Now I think it's 8. Yeah, it's 8 tokens now. I'm missing one. others. Before it used to be, I think, like 12, and I think there was like 3 clue tokens, and a dungeon can last many tiles, especially based on how you're, pulling from the tile. But for example, right here, anytime you find a passage, it's still counted to the depth track for going down into the dungeon and adventuring, but it's not an exploration tile. It's just another section of the dungeon. That's it. You have to actually get the full tiles to actually be able to do an exploration token. So we were very fortunate on that. Because the further we go down in the dungeon, the more difficult it becomes to actually pass the darkness test. But so we completed the first dungeon here. After we sorted everything, got our rewards, decided if we leveled up or not, which again, it doesn't have to happen right now. At any point in the game, once you got XP and you're like, oh my god, I leveled up, just raise your hand and be like, dude, I'm leveling up my character. Pull out the book, go through, figure out what it is you roll for your bonus, and then go through the skill tree and figure out what you want as a skill. Because there's I think there's 4 different branches, and they all come with all these amazing benefits. It's just like D&D. Level 1, it's like you're just rolling a die. Level 2, well, you're getting bonuses now. Like you're getting bonuses towards some classes will have bonuses towards attacking specific types of monsters. I think Drifter gets that, or maybe the lawman. But anyway, once we're all done with everything, we've got our loot and rewards, and then we normally go into the travel phase, which I haven't yet added to this. I had it in the original version that I put together, but what we normally do here is we go to the travel phase, and then everybody's rolling dice to see what happens from the end of the dungeon to the town we're going to. And towns can change. I was really hoping we'd at least run into a portal here, so we can go to another world. Because what's cool is that when you're in the base campaign stuff, you normally go to the frontier town. And the frontier town's great. But if you go to special areas, like let's say you're in one of the feudal Japan mythology, the Japanese mythology areas, like the Forbidden Fortress, or the Forgotten was the Forest of the Damned, or Belly of the Beast, you go to the feudal village. If you're in, there's 2 other areas for the Spanish, the Conquistadors, and the Norse part of the game that you can go back to, but I think that's just campsites for their specific thing. They added a whole new mechanic to it in the 3rd Kickstarter, where it's a team-based thing, where if somebody wants to play as a Jarl, it's best that everybody plays a part of the Norse classes, because you're getting bonuses from each other, like rage bonuses and stuff that help you in combat or skills, whatever. The same thing goes with Conquistadors and Traderans. And Traderans, how do I put them? Think of the Helghast from Killzone, like off-worlders that fascist off-worlders. Although I haven't really looked much into their lore, but basically they're like the Helghast from Killzone, and their thing is they're on a planet that's full of gases and mutagens and all that stuff, and they're Darkstone, and they're all mutants, like they're 3-eyed mutants, and they have all these different factions. If you create a Tradaran character, you actually have a whole bunch of factions you can choose from that give you bonuses and benefits. But the kill team part of that, you get bonuses for being on the same team with other Tradarans. And they're actually a really fun class. There's even veteran who's basically its own little class, a Trajarian veteran and its own little class. It's also really fun to play. So as I said, there's like 27 different classes, and you have basically the Old West, which is pretty much what I play here. You got Outlaws, Prospector, you have a Frontier Doctor, you have Drifters, and Lawmen, a whole mess of different things. You even have an Orphan class where you start off with the Orphan class, and then you, as you level up, you eventually evolve into another class of your choice. I heard it's a lot of fun, just takes a long time to get to where you want to be. But the fact that you get to keep those abilities from the Orphan class and carry them over to your new class, it's pretty awesome. But I think that you also are limiting yourself because you're getting those Orphan benefits, but you can't fully embrace being a full-blown, like let's say you went Lawman, you're not going to get all 8 levels into Lawman. You're going to be getting like, I think, 4 levels of Orphan and then 4 levels of whatever you want. You'll still be able to max out one of the branches of the skill tree, but you can't max out 2, which is normally what you do if you went with a straight class. But anyway, there's the Old West. There's the Japanese mythology. So you have like a whole mess of stuff. Would it be Japanese? We'll say Asian mythology, and you have like daimyos and samurai warriors and a whole bunch of different classes. Even magic. There's a magic class. The moderator, one of my moderators, Moose, loves to play the priest, and it's an awesome class. It's a blast. The only problem is that you have to make, and you saw how hard it is already, try to hit things and destroy them. But whenever you're casting spells, you have to make a specific test, and the chances of getting that 10 plus on 2d6 is it's hard. Even if you give yourself bonuses using faith, but anyway, I digress. There's the Asian mythology with all those different classes. There's sumo. Daimyo's blast. I had a lot of fun playing daimyo because you get minions. It's a minion class. It's pretty awesome. And you also have range and melee, and you're pretty good with both. And then of course there's the team base, which is Norse, Trajarian, and the Spanish conquistadors. And I think I know there's 4 classes for the Trajarians, but I think there's more classes for the other two. But anyway. So going back, we would do our travel tests, see what happens on the way there. Could be getting into a trap. We found something on the side of the road. We rolled to see if we checked it out, or we decided to go check it out. Rolled, and maybe we found something cool, or maybe it was a trap. A void tornado came in and just wiped us out. Who knows? Or wiped out part of the next town. Once we're done with travel saves the game. We go on to the town phase, where now we can start selling our stuff. But there's still a lot of craziness that can happen during town states. The chaos doesn't just stay in the adventure, it's through a whole game. In the town state, it could be a shootout, like all of a sudden out of nowhere, you're doing a town state event, and we roll poorly, and it turns into, or we roll poorly, or you're going to the saloon to do something on your way to the saloon, and an event happens, and now it's a shootout. There's a lot that could happen all in town, and whatever happens in town can also affect what happens on the next adventure. But anyway, I'm really glad was able to do this. I'm hoping that we can do this, set this up again tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to play. Maybe I will. Part of me wants to take the paints out, set things up, and just have a paint session, or take a break and play maybe Art Horror, or maybe another board game. Although I think it would be a good idea to have kind of just specialize on this for a while, get the rules down, get things going. so that I can get through the missions a little bit faster. Because we spent quite a bit of time on this alone. But anyway, that's gonna be. Let's go ahead and close this out. I really wish we saw a portal, but maybe next time. Am I in there? So, thank you all for whoever showed up and watched through the game. Thank you very much for being here. Next time, tomorrow, I'm not sure what time I'm going to do it at. I do have some chores, and I want to get. I preferably want to start this at 2 o'clock. So I can get like a nice 4 or 5 hour gameplay session in, maybe 6. And we'll see what goes from there. But I want to thank you all for showing up. I'm going to call it a night, and I guess I'll see you tomorrow.